Skadooba-doo-bop, Friend Shop.
Hey, it's Garrick again, and welcome back out to the Friend Shop. Today, I'm going to be making a mold of this six-eyed raven bust that my wife Jackie sculpted. I plan on doing it just as a simple box mold. 4 walls, pour the silicone in, be done with it, because it's got a nice open back and it'll be easy to do that way. But because of the level of detail on the surface of this piece, like if you see all the little feathers and the inset of the eyes, things of that nature, I'm going to do what most people call a beauty coat first. The silicone I'm going to be using today is Smooth-On's 20T. It is a transparent 20 Shore Platinum Cure silicone. And I'm going to mix up a very small batch first. And I'm just going to brush it on the surface of the whole thing before I build my box and pour the rest in there. That's going to ensure that I get into all of the little nooks and crannies and that I don't end up with any nasty air bubbles or imperfections on the surface of this piece. Now, we got to have gloves before we start. Normally, I use nitrile, but I accidentally bought vinyl this time. Works just as good. Just don't use latex. Latex gloves can mess up the cure of silicone, so no latex gloves. And then, since 20T is transparent, I'm going to mix in a little bit of Sil-Pig, their silicone pigment, specifically their blue. And that's one going to let me know that I've thoroughly mixed my silicone, and 2, it's going to help me see that I've got the entire thing covered before I move on to building my box and pouring the rest in there. Now, the Sil-Pig gets mixed into part A of the silicone. So, I'm going to do approximately 1 ounce of part A. These little cups here are portion ramekins. I'll go and buy them from, what's that place called? Smart and Final. Sleeves of 100. They're 1 ounce. And then, of course, a 3 ounce Dixie cup. Now, a little bit goes a long way with this silicone pigment, so I'm just going to kind of dip this stick down in here and mix it in with that. And get that to a nice blue. And when I mix that with the part B, it'll be much easier to tell if I've got it thoroughly mixed. Okay, just sit there. That's part B. Oh so very exciting part of mold making. So now into this container. Scrape the edges to make sure I get the whole thing. This guy. Now, actually, this might end up being too much silicone. I just did 1 ounce each because it's easy to demo. I probably could have done 1/2 ounce, but c'est la vie. So you can tell as I mix it, it's actually getting to be a lighter blue. You really want to scrape the edges, mix everything around. And actually, best practice is to go and grab another cup, and pour it into that. Give me 1 second. Yay, best practices. So, pour that into this one, scrape the edges. Now, this stuff has about 10-minute pot life before it really starts gelling. So I kind of want to work quickly with it once I've got it all mixed, but not so quickly that I'm just making a mess with it. Once it starts gelling, it's really kind of useless. Cheap brush, make sure those are free and clear. And now I'm just going to start painting that in there and really kind of stippling it and making sure, getting in all of the, pushing it down in all of the crevices and cracks. I'm going to do the eyes first. Because they are the part that I'm most concerned about. And now it's just kind of a little bit of a stippling thing over the entire surface. You want to make sure that you're not brushing it on so hard that you're like putting bristle marks in the clay, because that would be bad. But you want to make sure it's actually getting down in there, because the last thing you want to do is cause air bubbles when you're trying to prevent them. It's also finally starting to get a little hot here in Arizona. So if I look a little rushed, it's because I'm really kind of concerned that this stuff is going to gel faster than usual. And across the brow there. Yeah. 2 ounces was way too much. But it made it easy for you to see how it was mixed. So, you know, everything is going to be okay. That's what you don't want to have happen, is to have bristles come out and stick in your mold. It's starting to get a little gooey, so that's why I saved some of the smoother parts for last. And if it starts to get real nasty, I'll just build some up around the base in order to eat up space when I finally do the pour-on mold, because yeah, this is starting to turn basically into jelly. So if I just build it up around the bottom, I'm not going to end up wasting this silicone. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There we go. Okay, and at this point, you can see it's basically like toothpaste almost, a really sticky jello. It's useless now. You don't want to continue to try putting this on your piece, because all you're going to do is lift the layers you have. So I'm going to repeat that process with less silicone, and then be ready to build a box around it and pour the rest in. So I hope that this little tip helps you out if you're ever trying to do a box mold of something with a lot of surface detail. If you like this kind of stuff, please subscribe to my channel. We're doing all kinds of tutorials. I've got a series called Toolbox Tuesdays where I show off tools that I use in my shop every Tuesday. Kind of self-explanatory. Or you can just follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/noonesdesigns. You can follow us on Twitter at noonesdesigns, or just go to our website, noonesdesigns.com. Anyways, have a good one, and we'll see you next time.